You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Happy Friday, everyone. What's going on? I feel like I haven't been live in forever. When was the last time I was live? Tuesday? I wasn't live. Was I live on Wednesday? I was live on TikTok. I don't remember. But here I am. Here I is. Happy Friday. Happy end of Mercury retrograde. But no, we should be happy. Yeah, the end of the Mercury retrograde, even though there are the shadow period after the Mercury retrograde, but the Mercury retrograde will be over after today. But it's also the first day of spring. Yes. The first day of spring, the first day of spring, the first day of spring. I am ready, and it's actually starting to feel like spring here in New York City. Oh, what's the temperature? Let me look. 58. Ooh, that's a balmy 58. I don't need it to rush. I don't need to be 100 degrees like California right now. California, did the temperature go down? Let us know. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. We appreciate you guys being here for our Friday live. I will add the timestamps whenever I get to it. You be here from the beginning to the end. But shout out to those of you that are here, part of the live chat. We have a lot of stories that I want to get into today. But we'll first start off with this. Chuck Norris, you may have seen the headlines. I grew up watching Chuck Norris. I remember seeing it. Can I be honest with you guys? And this is me being transparent, not disrespectful. But sometimes when some of these folks have gone on to the other side, I'm like, wait, I thought they died already. Just saying, maybe because they're not in the public eye as much. But I was like, sometimes I have to go back and double check. I was like, wait, let me make sure this is not an old article. Okay. All right. Oh, it didn't. Oh, damn. Sorry, LA. You guys are still hot. You're still hot. Oh, Lakia says, yes, and my allergies are already going. Let me go pop an allergy pill. Hey, Norma. Norma's in the building. Appreciate you being here. All right. But I have a job to do because some of y'all didn't know this. Chuck Norris passed away. According to People magazine, Chuck Norris has died at the age of 86 years old. Norris first found fame in karate films of the 1980s, including A Force of One and An Eye for an Eye. By the end of the decade, he was established as one of Hollywood's biggest action stars. He starred in the TV series Walker, Texas Ranger, which premiered in 1993. The actor's family confirmed his death via a statement released on his Instagram Friday, March 20th. It is with a heavy heart that our family shares the sudden passing of our beloved Chuck Norris yesterday morning, the statement read. While we would like to keep the circumstances private, please know that he was surrounded by his family and was at peace. To the world, he was a martial artist, actor, and symbol of strength. To us, he was a devoted husband, a loving father and grandfather, an incredible brother, and the heart of our family. He lived his life with faith, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to people he loved. Through his work, discipline, and kindness, he inspired millions around the world and left a lasting impact on so many lives. So that was a statement from the family. The actor, who turned 86 earlier this month, People write, was hospitalized in Hawaii on Thursday, March 19th, TMZ previously reported. This comes just days after Norris celebrated his birthday with an Instagram post of himself boxing and training on March 10th. Norris was born Carlos Ray Norris in Ryan, Oklahoma in 1940. His mother was Irish and his father was Cherokee. Why they say he said was Cherokee? Were they not sure? In 1988, memoir, The Secret of an Inner Strength, My Story, Norris opened up about his father's alcoholism and how it affected his childhood and adolescence. It wasn't until my dad came home from World War II that he really started to drink, Norris told People in 1988. But at his worst, he would leave his family for months at a time, then return to wreak havoc. His absences were actually pleasant times, Norris explained. My mom was working just menial jobs since she had only a 9th grade education, but there was none of the tension, the tiptoeing around like there is when there is someone in the house who's liable to blow up at any moment. The family also moved around a lot, which Norris felt kept him from making lasting connections. All right. Rest in peace to Chuck Norris. He was 86 years old. Lord have mercy. You know what we say anytime we report on anyone passing? It's a reminder to all of us to live more fully. And especially on this spring, this is technically the astrological beginning of the new year, really, as opposed to January 1st. So, Happy New Year. We can continue to say Happy New Year. All right. Ilya, happy 31 months of being a member here on the channel. So thank you so much for being a member that long. We do not take that lightly. So thank you. Ms. Parker, thank you so much for the super chat. Ms. Parker says, Kemp, you were spot on. Dorit pulled the I didn't know PK's responsible for that. We're going to talk about it, Ms. Parker. I was just watching the Beverly Hills episode. I will say this episode was probably more interesting than the rest of the season. But would I say you need to go watch it? I don't know. Maybe because I like anytime they go on a trip and they like to shop. I like to shop. Maybe. Thank you for another super chat, Ms. Parker. Ms. Parker says, Camp, wait. Why did it come through twice? Did you send it twice? All right, ching ching. I love it. Love it. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support, guys. You can also support just by liking today's video. Thank you already for 135 likes. We appreciate you guys as well. Shout out to those of you watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. All right. So we had that news in regards to Chuck Norris. I have to go to my notes because there's so many things that I want to talk about today, and I might forget to get to everything, but it's fine. Okay. So spring has sprung. Eid Mubarak to those that celebrate. Didn't want to forget that as well. It feels like this is the longest Ramadan ever. But how long is Ramadan again? 40 days? Something like that? All right. So Eid Mubarak. Shout out to our mayor here. I saw that the mayor went and celebrated Ramadan over there at Rikers. For those that like to dig up and try to make this man to be evil, I'm like, y'all, this man is over here doing what your president refuses to do, actually serve the people. He's over here breaking the law. Honestly, he should be the flunky of the week. He's over here breaking the law, putting his face on money when you're not supposed to do that when you are a sitting president. But anyway, I digressed. I'll add that to the timestamp, okay? All right, flunky of the week, because on Fridays we like to do flunky of the week. It has to be. I'm sorry, Taylor Frankie Paul. Because honestly, I take that back. Taylor Frankie Paul, you're not the flunky of the week. Whoever casted you to be the Bachelorette should be the flunky of the week. All of those producers, ABC, Disney, all of you should be flunky of the week. Whoever decided to cast her as the Bachelorette, I already said it. As soon as they announced it, I was like, I only watched the first season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and I was sort of like, and I see the stories about her and Dakota. And look, I'm not saying that Dakota's innocent either. That is a toxic situation. But one thing I had to say, I said to myself, I thought if you're going to be the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, and you're going to have all of these men and women pining over you and fighting for you, you have to be some sort of prize. And I said to myself, I was like, would they have chosen Rachel Lindsay with this type of background? Makes you think, right? Makes you think. I thought you had to be some sort of prize in order to. So you may have seen the video that went viral this week in regards to. First of all, there's been so many different stories on Frankie, Taylor Frankie Paul. There's been so many stories about her toxic relationship with Dakota. And if you've been watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, then you already know all of it. And you know that Dakota's not innocent either. However, there was a recent story of a DV situation within the home. The video that everyone saw this week was from 2023. But we didn't see that video. We just heard about the situation. We saw that she got arrested. The charges were eventually dropped. But the video was put out there. I don't know who decided to put it out there. Somebody did. When it shocked me, it was Dakota. Because he took the video, right? Wasn't that him taking the video in that video? So apparently after the video leaked, ABC was like, okay, we got to cancel it. Because they weren't canceling it up until yesterday. So yesterday they canceled her season of The Bachelorette. And a lot of the bachelors are saying, well, no, we feel bad for her. We're praying for her. I mean, look, it is what it is. But at the same time, I'm like, I thought this was a big mistake from the beginning. But word on the street, the people behind the scenes, they knew about this stuff allegedly. We all knew about this stuff. You can't sit here and say you didn't know. If I know, and I barely watch this show, you're not telling me that they didn't know about her charges, about the situation, on how bad that situation was. You're not telling me that ABC didn't know. ABC knew it. The Bachelor producers knew it. And they were like, this is going to bring attention to the show, until that video leaked. When that video leaked, that's when they're like, oh, damn, we can't downplay this now. I also saw that Bethany Frankel is saying that they made a bad decision, ABC. What do you guys think? Do you think that they should have moved forward? I will say this. I don't think they should have even casted her from the beginning. I get it. I understand business. I understand TV. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives does very, very well. However, I would have been like, there's so many other women on that show that they could have possibly cast. I did see that Taylor Frankie Paul has released a statement saying, I guess via her people, Taylor is very grateful for ABC's support as she prioritizes her family's safety and security after years of silently suffering extensive mental and physical abuse, as well as threats of retaliation. Taylor is finally gaining the strength to face her accuser and taking steps to ensure that she and her children are protected from any further harm. There are too many women who are suffering in silence as they survive aggressive, jealous ex-partners who refuse to let them move on with their lives. Taylor has remained silent of fear of further abuse, retaliation, and public shaming. She is currently exploring all of her options, seeking support, and preparing to own and share her story. I find this statement to be interesting because her cast members don't seem to share the same sentiment when it comes to Taylor. Because word on the street, according to sources, they were saying they didn't want to work with her. They didn't want to film with her. So Miranda posted on her Instagram story. Let me see if I can bring this up for you guys so you can see what I'm looking at. And as I'm doing that, guys, be sure to like the video. We're talking about, as you can see here, Taylor Frankie Paul from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. They've paused filming because of this whole situation this week. Okay? Amara says, girl, you're abusive. Look, I will say this, in all fairness, and we've talked about this before in other stories where women end up getting physical or they end up getting charges. There are particular situations where the man is abusing the woman, and in defense of herself, or because the situation has gotten toxic, not saying it's okay, where the woman ends up defending herself after abuse. I don't know the situation with Taylor. I saw that video too, but I just wanted to point that out because I don't think this is as black and white as people would like to make it. Let me just bring this up to you. What Miranda had to say. Hold on, let me pull this over. All right, hold on. Let me bring this. All right, so Miranda, one of her co-stars, said this on social media. I've honestly been a little at a loss for words trying to process this all. Everything has been really heavy to see. Domestic violence and the abuse of any kind is something I take very seriously. As a human and especially a mother, I cannot support that kind of behavior. My heart is with the children in this, and I hope they're safe, supported, and surrounded by love. So that was Miranda. We had another person from this cast come out. So let me just bring this over to Layla. Hold on, y'all. This is live, and I'm just adding all this stuff. Layla said this in a statement on her Instagram story. My personal history as a survivor makes it impossible for me to stay silent. I stand firmly against DV in any form. I am keeping her children in my thoughts and hoping for their safety above all else. Y'all notice a trend? We were talking about this when it was with Wendy SFO. People love to say that they're praying for the children. And to me, it's almost like a dig. Like, I'm praying for your children, but you, I don't care about. But this relationship has been toxic for a long time. Part of the reason why this show has been hugely successful. Y'all watching it. And this is why this type of behavior gets rewarded. But I go back to, like, she should have never been casted as the Bachelorette. because I thought if you're going to be vying for someone on a show like this, you offer something. Because in real life, if you were one of my friends and start talking about dating someone like Taylor or Dakota, I'd be like, that is no prize. That is a toxic situation. How old is Taylor Frankie Paul? How old is Taylor Frankie Paul? Because is she in her 20s? Can someone confirm for me? How old is she? Because, she's 31. Damn. Well, look. Well, even in your 30s, if you were my friend and you were vying to date Frankie or Dakota, I'd be like, no. There's too many fish in the sea. But I'm definitely not going on a reality show vying to be in a relationship with you. No, because for a multitude of reasons. But like I said, I find it so interesting when you look at a Rachel Lindsay, who a whole lawyer, beautiful, stellar, when it comes to her past and things like that. You think they would, if the tables were reversed, that they would have casted Rachel Lindsay? They wouldn't have. But anyway, so that's the situation. People are speaking out. Everybody has a statement. Everybody's speaking out. As I said to you before, ABC has canceled. It was supposed to premiere on Sunday, The Bachelorette. A word on the street, ABC's losing $20 to $30 million. Cry me a river. I don't care. That was y'all's stupid mistake. Because I'm telling you, literally when I heard that they announced it, I was like, that's a choice. So am I going to boo-hoo over ABC, who's worth billions of dollars? And lost, look, let me go all the way back. And lost Shonda Rhimes over her asking for an extra Disneyland ticket? Am I going to boo-hoo that y'all lost billions of dollars by losing Shonda? Nope, y'all should be boo-hooing about that. Come on. But all right. I didn't plan to get into the Taylor of it all this early. I was going to come back to it, but I thought I might as well just talk about it, right? I might as well just talk about it. Are y'all boo-hooing over it? Were you guys looking forward to it? Look, here's the thing. I don't know the numbers for The Bachelorette. I know The Bachelor Nation's a huge world. However, across the board in reality television, numbers are down. And it wouldn't shock me because The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is doing so well. ABC and the producers were like, we should get Taylor. This would be iconic. This would bring a lot of new faces, younger faces to Bachelor Nation. That's what they were thinking of. They were thinking of their pockets, and now they've lost. And somebody probably lost their job. A few people probably lost their job for that decision. Look, Kay was like, wait, what Kempire talk about that Shonda stuff? Shonda's talked about this. And do me a favor. I just gave you a brief overview. If you go to my Tickety Talk, just put Kempire and Shonda Rhimes in there. It will come up, the story that I did. Put Shonda Rhimes, Kempire, Disneyland, or Disney. Because basically that was the reason why Shonda went to Netflix. It was because her babysitter was being denied access, I believe it was, I can't remember off the top of my head, was being denied access to Disneyland, and she needed an extra, apparently Shonda needed an extra pass. Remember, she worked for ABC. The Disney owns that. So that's one of the perks of being a part of Disney. And when here we go. So when she asked for this extra pass, someone over there said to Shonda, don't you have enough? They said that to Shonda when she asked for an extra Disney pass that was probably worth a couple of hundreds of dollars. They said, don't you have enough?
Don't you have enough? That's what they said to Shonda.
Don't you have enough? So Shonda said, you know what? You're right. And I'm going to go get some more. That's when she brought Bridgerton over to Netflix, which is huge. She got I forgot how much millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars she ended up getting in her deal with Netflix. And then, brought us, yes, they said, don't you have enough? They said it to that black woman. And I'm telling you, that was rooted in racism, them saying that to her. They're like, how dare you ask for any more? Do you think they say that to other people that don't look like Shonda, like white people? Do you think they say that to them? No. And the fact that she's a woman? Don't you have enough? At that particular point, remember when Bridgerton's not that old. So this wasn't that long ago. Grey's Anatomy has been on the air for 20-something years. That has made them billions of dollars. Let's not also forget, she had Scandal. She had How to Get Away with Murder. She had something else there too. She redefined Thursday evening watching. How do we get to the Shonda of it all? But it's worth keep talking about. Just saying, don't you have enough? Just asking, okay? Exactly. Singer just says, you just lost one. Just saying. All right, I will never forget that story, but thank you for asking me to tell it. I just told it again. Okay. Ashley says, so nasty, so rude. Wait, we have that sound bite, don't we? Please hold. I got to find it. Let me see. Don't I have it here somewhere? Lord have mercy. Look, my eyesight. Hold on. Oh, there we go.
So nasty.
And that's what happened.
So rude.
Mm-hmm.
So nasty.
And that's what happened.
So rude.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Westchester Latina. Shout out to all our members. Hey, Melly. Private Practice. Thank you. That was the other show that she had. Thank you. I couldn't remember. What's the other show? Shout out to Shonda Rhimes. I love me some Shonda Rhimes. I really do. I think she's incredibly talented. Shout out to Queen Charlotte. If you haven't watched Queen Charlotte, go watch it. I'm not a big Bridgerton fan. I'm going to get into it because you guys keep telling me to. I watched the first season. I was like, But Queen Charlotte? Loved it. But anyway, I've digressed. Guys are just joining us. This is our Friday live. It's been a week since our live show here, our sold out live show here in New York City. Shout out to those of you. Can y'all check who has the live stream? Is it still available? You're supposed to have a week after, but today would be your last day. Today would be your last day to watch it. Okay? So go watch it. Go enjoy. All right? All right, moving on. Let me take a sip from my water as I do that. I do want to say thank you to one of our sponsors for today. Shout out to our friends over at Wix. When I first started Kempire Radio 15 plus years ago, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. 15 years later, now artificial intelligence has taken over and it's making your website building so easy. I'm excited to partner with Wix for today's live because Wix was the very first website that I ever used. And even back then, they made it easy. So you can imagine 15 years ago versus 2026, Wix is making it even easier with AI. So there are a couple of really cool things that you can do with Wix. With the hybrid website editor that offers the speed of AI, precision of drag and drop, and guidance of a dedicated AI agent, aka the new way to create websites. And you don't have to pay anyone to do this. You could do this yourself. Create in whatever way feels most natural to you with a platform that lets you flow freely between AI and manual controls. Because some people just let AI do whatever they want, and that is not what you want. You want to be able to do and create something that's unique to you. As I said to you before, you can launch a pro-grade website that's quality, but make it very easy for you to create. There are all kinds of really cool capabilities that they provide. Wix Harmony is packed with some of the coolest, most useful AI features and agents, built specifically for small businesses. Generate images, product descriptions, blogs, and more. Automate email marketing, SEO tasks, inventory management, and more. You even get an AI agent named Aria who can help you build your website or take care of business. Wix has been on top of AI for years, so naturally, they're the ones introducing the new way to create websites. Try Wix Harmony for free at wix.com/harmony. That's wix.com/harmony. More details on that will be available in the description. And we're back. I love this. Lakia says, "Yep, I just watched it again for the 8th time. I got my money's worth. Thank you, Lakia." One of the things I noticed for the Kempire After Dark live show that we just had here in New York, this particular live stream, I feel like a lot of you watched it more than twice. I love that. That was the whole point of getting the live stream. That if you watched it 8 times, you definitely got your money's worth. All right, don't be hawking it on the dark web. Okay. Don't be hawking it on the dark web. Andrea says Shonda also had For the People, Station 19, Grey's Anatomy, which is still on the air, and The Chase, just to name a few. 2 snaps to that. Shonda is smart. If I was to ever want to do like a scripted show, I would want to do it with Shonda Rhimes. I just think she's just really good at what she does. I really respect her craft. Does she get it right all the time? I mean, 9 times out of 10. You know what? The other series that I liked that she did on Netflix was the one about, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the lady's name. The one that was scamming people. Oh damn! I know you're probably like, which one? The series she did about the scam. Oh damn! I can't think of. Why can't I think of the lady's name? Because she's a non-factor, really. She really should be, but she's still here in America, despite going to jail for scamming. But let me see if you guys remind me. I watched that like 3 times, especially when they go to Morocco and yes, and the Anna story. Thank you, Coco. What was it? What was her? Oh my God, I can't think of her last name. But you know what I'm talking about. That was such a good one, Shonda Rhimes. Inventing Anna. Thank you, Tish. Inventing Anna. Here go Miss Melon Magic. Cookie wishes she had the story. Anna Delvey. Thank you, D. Brown. Yeah. If you have not watched that on Netflix, go watch it today. Thank me later. And I expect a thank you because it was so good. I could watch it again. Just the thought of it, I'm like, oh, especially that Morocco episode. Y'all remember the Morocco episode? Homegirl was a scammer, and she's still here in America. Still here in America. We're sending back hardworking people, and Anna Delvey is still here. Mm-hmm. And if you watched the second season of Owning Manhattan, the building that she was trying to buy, they are trying to sell in the second season. Anna Delvey, y'all. Anna Delvey. Inventing Anna on Netflix. They're not paying us, but go check that out. Go check it out. All right. Kilo was responding to Bergie saying, exactly, we all know Taylor is a train wreck. I wanted to see the men who would sign up for the train wreck. So even me, who doesn't watch the show chapter and verse, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, knew that. You guys that are fans of it knew that. You're telling me ABC didn't know that? Just saying. All right, moving on. Let's move on. All right, let me go back to my notes, okay? Lotto. I know we never talk about Lotto, but Lotto just announced that she has a new album and that she's pregnant. Shout out to our friends over at Pop Base. Lotto and 21 Savage are expecting their first child together. Look, she's never confirmed her relationship, but I'm sure if we can match the tattoos, we can match the fact that that's 21 Savage's hand, right? So she announced that she's pregnant. She also has a new album coming out called Big Mama. Okay. And how old is Lotto? Can y'all remind me? Can y'all Google that? And apparently she's been with 21 Savage for a very long time. Here's the thing that people are conflicted about. People say that 21 Savage is married. She's 27. Okay. Look, all right. They say that he's married. Some people speculate that he's only married so that he could stay in the country. Remember he's not an American citizen. And remember, they almost deported him. So, I don't know. I really don't know. From what she's never confirmed the relationship. She's really kept this relationship really private. But that's the word on the street, is that they've been together for a few years now. How old is 21 Savage? I know he's not 21. But that's the word on the street. Hey, Alma. That's the word on the street. He's married. Some people speculate he only got married so he could stay in the country. I don't know. Oh, he's 33. Okay, not bad. 6-year age difference. All right. Okay. Call Me Carmi says 21 Savage didn't want to get deported back to the UK. So I don't know. If he is married, I don't know if it's a marriage of convenience or what it might be. But she has announced that she's got a new album, Big Mama, and she's pregnant. And apparently, allegedly, I'm just going to say allegedly because she never confirmed, allegedly, that 21 Savage is the father. 21 Savage is 33. Y'all saw that hand that I just showed you? 33. That's a 33-year-old's hand. Please just take a look at my hand. Take a look at my hand. 40-something. Look, 40. Just take a look at my hand. Look. That's not even, look. Let me show you his hand. I know some of y'all gonna be like, well, that's a man's hand, Kempire. That's a rough hand. I digress so much. That hand is giving a hot 50. But, right? Get some butter. Get some butter. For those that don't know, butter, the skincare brand. Lord. Hey, Miss Escort, he's British by birth. He also is a little tough on the hands. But, you know, I will say this, though. Lotto's beautiful. She has a new album, Big Mama. Okay? Speaking of music, let's talk about the fact that we have the Roots Picnic. They had an announcement. Jay-Z has a lot of music stuff coming up in this year. He's got 2 stadium shows that are happening, celebrating what? The Blueprint and something else. The other, Reasonable Doubt. He has 2 stadium shows that he's having, celebrating the anniversaries of those projects. And then he's going to be headlining Roots Picnic. So Jay-Z and the Roots, Erykah Badu, Kehlani, who announced that she will be releasing her album, her self-titled album, after her 2 Grammy wins. During Taurus season, because she's a Taurus. Yes, come on, Kehlani. You know I love my Taurus sister. Okay. Brandy will be headlining T.I., who was battling with 50 Cent. Has 50 Cent really even responded to T.I., or is he too busy fighting Clarissa? Just saying, that man is miserable. You cannot be at home, happy, living your best life. He has got all the money in the world. But he probably don't have love. I know he's got a girlfriend, but you know what I mean? Like a real love in his life. He is such a miserable person. And he probably didn't even understand when T.I. and all the family members came out in defense of T.I. T.I. dropped how many different diss tracks. We're still waiting on 50 Cent's diss track. Come on, isn't that what the rappers do? Where is your diss track? 50, you got more words for black women than you do for this black man. We're waiting. Congratulations to Brandy. Okay, speaking of Brandy, hold on. I got to find Brandy's statement because I didn't get a chance to talk about this story. So, did you guys see? I'm not going to play the clip because speaking of miserable men, I saw that Shine. I thought Shine was taking a different route in life, that he was a diplomat, he was running for political office. I didn't know that he was going to lean into be a messy former washed up rapper. So apparently Mace, Mace has that podcast, the other miserable one. And they brought up that Brandy had been dating Mace and Shine at the same time. Well, Brandy had to come out with her own statement and basically said, before Brandy came out with her statement, Ray J, who's, we just had Dr. Frida here talking about Ray J and his health stuff. My thing is that Ray J, you should be more concerned with that. You should be definitely more concerned with that. So, I say all that to say, where's the statement that she wrote? Hold on. Where is it, Brandy? Oh, here it is. Because Brandy's promoting her book. Brandy has a new book coming out. And I'm going to her live event that she's having here in New York in honor of the book. So she has a new book coming out, Phases. Ray J came out in defense of his sister in a very weird way. I'm not going to play that video for you because it was very weird. It was very Ray J just seeking attention, but at the same time trying to defend his sister, which I don't blame him for defending his sister. But at the same time, like, he's just like, his response is weird. So she's basically coming out and speaking for herself. But this was great promotion, Brandy. This was great promotion for your book. So Brandy posted a couple of days ago, or like a day ago, in response to Mace and Shine talking about how they were dating Brandy at the same time. And so many people in the comment section was like, so wait, Brandy was really Moesha? Because if you remember Moesha, she was dating the two guys at the same time. Well, keep in mind, too, dating doesn't mean that they were sleeping together. I don't know. Okay? I'm looking forward to this book because I really hope Brandy's telling it all, because there have been all kinds of rumors about Brandy for years. And there's just so many things for her to unpack and talk about. Brandy has lived. All right? Didn't at one particular time, too, during this back and forth with Mace and Shine, they mentioned someone else. They mentioned Kobe. And how she may have had a situation with Kobe. May he rest in peace. You mother fathers. Anyway, so Brandy took to her social media with a picture of her book. Let me bring up the book. But I got to keep it real too, Brandy. Why are we using this old photo? I've seen this photo as a Brandinista, someone that has interviewed Brandy 5 times. Brandy, you're a beautiful woman. Why are we using this old photo of you? I don't understand. I mean, it's a beautiful photo. I don't blame you for using this photo. But I don't understand why we are using this photo. This is an old photo, y'all. And we've seen Brandy recently. It's like, Brandy, you're gorgeous. I mean, anyone would look at this and be like, oh, no, it still looks like Brandy. It's a gorgeous photo. But I'm like, this is an old photo. Like, we've seen this photo before. Like, the book should have been an opportunity for us to get a new photo shoot. But that's me. I'm digressing. So Brandy posted this picture, and she says this in the caption. In the late 90s, I had a platonic friendship with rapper Shine. In an unfortunate turn of events, that friendship is now being mischaracterized as, quote, we dated. Unequivocally, we did not. She says, I'm not sure why an untrue narrative about a scope of what was a friendship more than 20 years ago is being reshaped during his current media interviews. People telling their version of my story is why I'm releasing my upcoming memoir, Phases. All right, Brandy. All right, PR. It's time to tell my truth and debunk many of the misnomers that people think they know about my life. This was perfect, though. Shout out to all of y'all for trying to come at Brandy and make Brandy look like whatever you wanted to make her look like, because you just set this up for a perfect way to promote the book. She says, additionally, I rarely release statements and typically ignore stories about me in the headlines, even when they are false. But when I do decide to stand up for myself, I handle things on my own. While I love my brother Ray J, I don't condone or support the messages he shared on social media and have not asked him to defend me in any form. Phases available March 31st, 2026, wherever books are sold. Boom. Boom. I did hear some information, but I can't share it. I almost shared it. I was like, wait. Sometimes people tell me stuff and I'm like, wait. I can't say yet. But I look forward to seeing Brandy here in New York City on April 1st. You're welcome, Brandy, because I look forward to I hear Angie Martinez is going to be the one to interview her and talk about different parts of what came out from the book. All right. I look forward to it, right? Anyone else? I look forward to it. All right. I've digressed yet again. Let me digress into something else. Let's talk about Ladies of London, The New Reign. For those that don't know, I have been talking about it here on the channel. I did not get a chance last week to talk about it because I had a sold-out show here in New York City. Sold-out show. So I didn't get to talk about it. But I'll briefly just talk about some of the things that stood out from last week's episode and this week's episode. It's the only reason why I will watch anything on a Thursday night that's Bravo related. Beverly Hills is not what's keeping my attention. Sidebar, Michelle Gellar, I thought it was so interesting how you were paired with Dorit this week, and I wish they would have brought up how you talked about Beverly Hills being boring, but apparently I don't know when you filmed the Page 6 interview versus when you filmed the Bravo Watch What Happens Live episode. but I did find it interesting. You found it to be boring. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Moving on. But Ladies of London, here's the thing. I like it. I think it's a good series so far. I'm liking the cast of characters, the people that are standing out to me. Let me see if I can bring this back up. I really like Martha. I don't understand why Martha's giving strangers keys to her home. Do you guys think that when Margot says, I can't be friends with you anymore with her behavior, like part of me was like, whoa, I didn't expect that. But at the same time, I was like, I kind of get what she's saying. I can't come over to your house. Like if some stranger could just come up and like take me out, I got a kid to worry about. I got kids to worry about. Martha's a bit like Sonia Morgan. That's what she kind of reminds me of. Or Grey Gardens, but Sonia Morgan reminds me of Grey Gardens as well. Call Me Carmi says that I love Mark Francis. Did you see his home this week? His home is so it's like a museum. He definitely, I wasn't sure about him being on the show, but I like him. Emma this week opened up about some of her health issues. She had some health issues when she was pregnant. Some of those health issues have resurfaced. Last week's episode, Missy opened up about her brother being unalived on the streets of London. What was it, Christmas or Christmas Eve or something like that? She opened up about it. And here's the thing, Kimmy giving us the tea on what the streets were saying. I know it might not be the best thing to do or say. However, I don't think any of us would have known that there was some speculation as to, this wasn't just some random, unaliving, that it might be related to drugs or it might be related to something more unsavory. So I don't think we would have thought that because we don't, especially because we're not there in London. That's the other thing. These London folks will get away with some of their secrets because we're not based there, but they don't realize I have people in the streets of London that are willing to give me all the tea about these socialites. But I didn't know about this particular situation. So Missy opened up about her brother's unaliving, and Kimmy, first of all, Kimmy was not willing to give them much of anything. It really did take a turn when everyone was talking about some of their trauma at the table. So I was sort of like, I wasn't sure if this was the way for us to connect, but okay. Kimmy only shared the fact about, something that they already knew about her. But when they got back into the car to head home, she was just like, are we not going to talk about what the papers were saying about Missy's brother? Okay. Danny says the unaliving was planned for 6 months. See, Danny's over there in the London streets. Danny says the unaliving of her Missy's brother was planned for 6 months. So was it like what was going on? Oh, Pageant Mommy says a pow 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 is not typical in London. Well, let me see. Exactly. Mr. Melon Magic says that they were like trauma bonding. Pageant Mommy says it was an awkward time to discuss it. Here's the thing. We have to remember this is a reality show, and some of this is being produced. Some of this is Critical Thinker says Kempire is worldwide. Let's not forget. Not forget. Just saying. We had a whole London show. I got people in London. Ladies of London. I got people. So I'm glad that we could have a show that we can talk about. I watched Real Housewives of London. I'm waiting for them to put it on Peacock so I can talk about it with the rest of the people. Theo said 6 months. That's what Danny said. Danny's over there in the UK. So there's more to that story. But I'm enjoying Ladies of London. So that was one of the stories that stood out. As you know, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago about Dara. I saw the episode with Dara. Dara did walk away from the show after being confronted about being a madam and talking about her friend Micah. I don't mind Micah, y'all. Does she offer a lot to the show? Not really, but every show needs a Cynthia. Not everyone needs to be turned up. We have Martha and Kimmy for that, okay? We don't need everybody turned up. So I'm enjoying the cast of characters. I know some of you did not like some of the derogatory things that they've said about Meghan Markle. But honestly, if we're going to talk about those London streets, they don't really, they've taken a turn when it comes to Meghan Markle. We haven't over here, but I wasn't completely thrown off by the comment. Okay. All right. So what else happened in this week's episode? I did write a couple of notes. For those who are just joining us, this is our Friday Live. We're talking about Ladies of London. Okay, so we talked about Margot being upset with Martha and Martha giving a stranger keys to her home. And her reaction was very over the top. At the same time, I can't blame her. Last week's episode, we saw Dara sat down with Micah. Micah, I can't believe Micah was friends, but some of y'all are friends with someone like this too. You've been friends with someone toxic for 20, 30 years, and they're really not your friend. They're talking about you to your other friend. Just saying. That's the feeling that I got from Dara. Like, she's probably been talking about Micah. No, not probably. Micah says, I've heard this before from other friends that she says things about me. I was like, oh, man. Oh, wait, Miss Carolina, also over there in the London streets. Miss Carolina says he was unalived by a Swedish hitman. Oh, my. See, I told y'all we would get the full tea. Okay. Hey, Storm. Storm says, in an interview, Margot said production didn't show that the night before the storage scene, someone had been in Martha's house. What? Oh, that is scary. Ooh, that is scary. Thea says, Margot was my favorite. I was happy to see she didn't back down from Kimmy and matched her energy. Oh, yeah. She is definitely not a punk, Margot. She's definitely not a punk. All right. Look, all right. So we talked about Missy opening up, Kimmy and her feelings about it. She felt like everyone's story was a Debbie Downer. Margot ends up telling Missy about it later. She goes to Missy's house and she tells her about Kimmy, talking and speculating about her brother's death. But before that, speaking of Margot, how did you guys feel about Margot saying that she basically pressured her husband to marry her? I was like, wait a minute. Oh, Miss Carolina said, allegedly, we'll just add allegedly. We'll add allegedly. So Missy's brother was an international drug dealer kingpin? Do y'all think that Missy didn't know that? Because why would she bring it up? Or she wanted to bring it up before anyone else did? Oh. Foxy says Missy's from Sweden. Yeah, we learned that. Wow. Well, damn. I knew that we would learn a thing or two. Okay. No, Kimmy is the lady that spent time in Haiti. Yeah. So Margot forced her husband to marry her. I was like, oh, don't tell Brooke Ashley about that, because you know how Brooke is going to be like, oh, hell no. Brooke is watching this show, so Brooke saw it. Okay. Anyway, I digress. So Emma opens up about her health issues. She has this moment where we finally get to see Mark Francis's home, which is like a museum. It's beautiful. It's like it's gaudy and beautiful at the same time. There's gold, there's art, and all this stuff there. Okay, so Emma goes there. They're very close. They're like siblings. They're very, very close. Ooh, hold on, Danny. Not Danny spilling more tea. Missy's brother, Danny says, lived in a $1.7 million house in Battersea and didn't have a regular job. See, I told you we would get the information. Desi says desperado. Exactly. That's what Brooke is gonna call her. She's gonna call her a desperado. Oh my goodness. All right. Here go V. Kempire, glad you stopped saying look all the time, but now you're saying and a lot, especially when you sip your water. V, you probably just wanted some attention, and I'm not going to give it to you. I just want you to know I saw your comment. Look. Moving on. But you're still here watching, so you must enjoy it on some level. Okay, so Battersea is a posh neighborhood. Okay. I'm glad you emphasized that. Lakia says, I love our community, right? Thea says, I'm gagged by all this info on Missy's brother. I'm telling you, we have the connect in those UK streets. I'm just waiting for all the information on the rest of the cast. All right. I exactly, Foxy. All the M names: Margot, Martha, Myra, Mark, Missy, and Mark. And just think of the letter M. I'm like, oh, my goodness. Pageant Mommy said, Joy says, such a stupid comment. They want attention. It's okay. I'll give them the little attention that they wanted. You're welcome. Right? Angel says, look. Okay, let's move on. What else happened? Oh, so then they all get gathered together. And this is where Margot and Missy and Kimmy have the conversation about Kimmy basically alluding that there was more to Missy's brother's death. And Margot didn't back down during that. They were also painting a new model. That seems just to be the thing reality television does. Do you guys do that in real life? Just say, I've never been to one, but I've heard of one. Shout out to our friends over at the center. Remember, we've raised money for the center. I know they've done that a few times where you go and you sip and you paint a new model and stuff like that. I've never done it, though. Because first of all, I don't know how to paint. So what the hell am I going to be doing? I wonder, do they walk you through on how you can make it a little bit, or you have to take it knowing that you are skilled in art? Just asking. Because I feel like if I'm going to go, it's going to be stick figures. I would like to paint my own art, but I mean, all right. Moving on. All right. So they paint the new model, whatever. Kimmy, Margot, and Missy get into it. Look, Missy is not going, she's not tough like that. She's not going to in a situation like that. Anyone else would have been like, why are you speculating on my brother? But Kimmy wants to make it seem like Margot is the one that was reaching. Margot was putting more sauce on the situation. Margot did not put sauce on the situation. Margot basically said what you said. That's the one thing I had to defend Margot. So she was not putting on the situation. She was not trying to get attention by bringing up what you said. You said it, but you're messy. You've been messy. You were the one to bring up the Dara being a madam. Well, I don't know if she was the one to bring it up. But you were there. Yeah, I heard it too. You were laughing about it. So then there's that. But I'm enjoying the cast. I think this is a good cast so far of Ladies of London. If you missed it, guys, we've talked about it the last couple of weeks as well. Airs right after Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm enjoying it. I think it's a decent cast. Some people could go, but no, I mean, not yet. Oh, Lakia says, not my cup of tea. I don't want to see naked people unless it's me or my man. I don't mind seeing naked people. Because my thing is, it's art. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't mind. Like, I have in my bedroom a piece of art that I got from the city where Kama Sutra was created in India. And I literally bought art from a man that was at our hotel in the garden painting art. And I bought a few pieces from him. And one of the pieces that I bought from him when I brought back to the States and I got framed it's not really nude, but it's almost nude. I would have to show it to you guys, but I can't because, just saying. But I don't mind nude art if it's done tastefully. Like, I don't want it to be like, because shout out to the gays. Some of the gays have this like the leather and the gay, like naked men stuff. And I don't know about that, but I don't mind nude art. Just saying. All right, let's move on. Look, hold on. Just for V. Look. V likes the attention. It's okay, V. All right, let's move on. Let me get to some other stories that I wanted to talk about. This is our Friday Live, guys. Don't forget, you can also hear this on the Kempire podcast. Today is brought to you by our friends over at Factor. I love our Factor meals on a busy day. It gives you quality meals in 2-3 minutes, all right? Somewhere between the first warm weekend and realizing short season is getting close. Today's the first day of spring. Eating well stops feeling optional. Factor is how I stopped letting a busy schedule be my excuse for fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs, ready in 2 minutes, no planning, no cooking. Quality functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. And importantly, no refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, and no refined seed oils. They have 100 rotating weekly meals to keep things fresh and delicious through winter. Options include high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean. If you're on a GLP-1, they have GLP-1 support, and ready to eat salads. Of course, I've gotten you a discount. Head to factormeals.com/Kempire50 off and use code Kempire50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for 1 year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easy with Factor. More information on Factor will be available in the description. All right. Theo says the gays love their Tom of Finland type art. You're right. That's not what you get in my house, okay? Not yet, Lily. We haven't talked about Beverly Hills yet. We're going to talk about it in just a second. I want to get back to some pop culture news. So let me go back up into my notes. We'll get to some Real Housewives stuff because I want to talk about the backlash that Bravo's facing over Real Housewives of Miami. But first, Tokyo Toni. Tokyo Toni recently was on live. And look, she's always on live. She's always saying crazy things. However, this time she's taking shots at her daughter. I would play you the audio, but the audio is so bad, I have to just read you the transcript. The audio is gross. She's like, B, you dirty mother effer. She's a dirty mother effer. This is Tokyo Toni talking about Blac Chyna, a.k.a. Angela White. She's changed her life over. Okay, that's my Taurus sister. She's born the same day as me. I know. She says she's a dirty mother effer than me. She says, B, I can't stand her. I wish she would have got. I wish I would have gotten a Abortion. She said that. She wishes that she had taken her daughter's life at birth, before birth. She says, I don't give an F. Who says it's harsh? Nah, I wish I would have gotten a B, da-da-da-da. And if she died tomorrow, she's going to hell. That's what she's talking about, her own daughter. She says, I told her that too. You can't name one thing she did because she ain't. She said it's fake. She says, and I realized when I said this the first time, I got the hammer. Of course, I think I give an F about getting a hammer, B word. I'm Tokyo. Anything I say in my mouth, I could back it up. Bam, bam, bam. Excuse me? She's getting y'all. This witch is getting y'all. This demon is getting y'all. This demon, and she shows a picture of Blac Chyna. I believe it was at the Met Gala a few years ago. She says, this demon is getting y'all. This demon that I birthed. I'm breaking it down today. She's in trouble. The only demon that we see, Tokyo Toni, is that she was raised by a demon, which is you. And she says off-the-wall stuff all the time, but I saw this particular one, and I was like, Blac Chyna, a.k.a. Angela White, we'll just call her Angela White, has really, because I told you, I wasn't sure. I didn't know if I believed that she had really turned over a new leaf, but I said only time would tell. And it's been a few years that Angela White has really been trying to do better. I've seen her on TikTok. She's selling her different brands and things like that. But Tokyo Toni hasn't changed. Tokyo Toni is still the worst ever. And I would never have that woman around my child. She is too toxic. Too toxic. So that's what she says. She basically called Blac Chyna, a.k.a. Angela White. She called her the demon. She says she should have unalived her before she gave birth to her. I was like, okay. All right. Tokyo, get help. Get help. Get offline. Get offline. I can't. MB says, Blac Chyna Angela has really changed. Yeah. And I told you, sometimes when these folks say that they've changed, I was like, let's see. Time will tell. It's been a few years. She's been really working on herself. And to the point where now her daughter is with her more and her son are with her more. What happened with her and Rob? Remember there was like this sort of like where they were flirting with each other again? They were like, are they back together? Are they getting back? I haven't heard anything since. And if they are back together and they've been keeping it on the low, good for them. Good for them. But okay. All right. I just wanted to mention that story because that was a hot mess. A hot mess. You know what else is a hot mess? Real Housewives of Miami has been canceled. I know. Bravo hasn't said it was been canceled. You saw Variety had was it Variety or Deadline? I can't keep up. One of the media outlets had the exclusive saying that it's been put on pause. I see that, what was it, TMZ? They came out with their story that it's been officially put on pause. One of y'all on TikTok got upset that I said that it was canceled. Let me hold your hand. Whoa. Pause is something that they created back when Dorinda was basically her contract wasn't renewed. And Andy said, we're just giving you a pause. So it became a thing that Bravo would say. And they've been saying it about all these different shows. They put Real Housewives of Dallas on pause. They put Family Karma on pause. They put Summer House Martha's Vineyard on pause. That's just the thing Bravo has said. It's canceled. I get it. The Comeback just made an announcement after 21 years. They have been brought back for their third season. Okay? Lisa Kudrow. I love The Comeback. Lisa Kudrow. Was that show put on pause? Okay, some might say yes, it was. Only to be brought back 20 years later. So all of you will be like, oh my God, no, Real Housewives of Miami's been put on pause. Kempire it's been canceled. Their contract has not been renewed. I need you to understand it. You could say that it's been put on pause, but let me just be honest with you. It's been canceled until further notice. It's been canceled. All right, whatever. Except Rita Licious says, canceled or paused, we won't be seeing you. I don't mean to laugh because you know we love Miami over here. We love Miami. And honestly, some of y'all, a lot of people are coming out like, oh my gosh, I'm so upset about Miami. But y'all weren't watching Miami. We were recapping it because we knew that it was good. I said the ratings never reflected how good Real Housewives of Miami is. I've been saying that. That's the only reason why I would recap it, because I was like, it's actually a very good since the reboot. It's been so good. But the ratings didn't match. I don't know what the streaming was because they never released that. But I do find it interesting when the report came out this week, the reason why they were canceling or putting it on pause was due to low ratings. You know, Andy Cohen recently spoke out about it and said, oh, they're trying to figure it out. They want it to make sense, blah, blah, blah. I speculated, and I've told you this, and I honestly, the more that this plays out, the more I'm like, I really believe that's what happened. Because some of you are saying, well, Kempire, you know, Bravo doesn't have that much control over there. I didn't say that he did. If he had that much control, he would have all the Real Housewives cities on air, no matter how badly they were doing. But I do believe he really wants RHONY to be successful. So he's putting all of his eggs in the RHONY basket. I believe executives said to Andy, you can't have a new show, Rhode Island, which is not going to be a guarantee. It's not a guarantee with advertisers. So this is a risk. After we are seeing low ratings in Atlanta, we're seeing low ratings for RHONY, and he's taken over a year to get RHONY together. I believe they gave him a choice. We'll give you Rhode Island, but if you want it's either Miami or New York. I believe that he chose New York. I also think it was very strategic that they released the information that Martha Stewart had filmed a cameo. They want to promote this new season of RHONY. Reminder, they're rebooting a reboot, basically. Will it be good? It might be. I don't know. You also saw that Carol will be returning. Andy has said that she has a relationship with a bunch of people in the group. According to Andy, Carol actually has more of a relationship with the women in this group than she did when she first joined RHONY. Do I believe that? No. Okay. I don't believe that at all. But okay, fine. Look, fine. We shall see how this all plays out. They're currently filming the new season of Real Housewives of New York. There are rumors that Real Housewives of New Jersey has solidified their cast. Will they start filming probably the end of the year? We'll see. I haven't heard anything solid. I also see that there's a lot of misinformation on Facebook about a bunch of different stories. Stop reading Facebook, y'all. There's so much fake news on Facebook. So much fake news. They're probably also talking about this this Marlo and Tyler Perry dating situation. We'll get to that in a second. But first, Real Housewives of Miami. Real Housewives of Miami has been put on pause.
Lies! The lies!
Stephanie was the first to release a statement yesterday saying life is about timing and airing during peak summer travel was far from ideal. Really, though, summer? I'm disappointed because strong Latina voices deserve a spotlight that's still lacking, but Miami always finds its way back. For now, I'll be keeping up with everyone's crazy lives. I love the girls and meeting them will always be the best part of RHOM. And one thing about Latinas and underrepresented voices, you can pause us, but you can't cancel us. Okay. We always find our way back stronger. Mighty Mouse will see you soon. Well, that was cute. The ending was cute. Damn, Joe. Joe says, cancel or pause. No one will be receiving a check. That made me giggle to myself. Stop. Oh, I love your glasses too. Okay, she wasn't the only one to release a statement. All right, the Cuban Barbie, Alexia, released a statement. So many people were mad at Alexia. It was like, you're part of the reason why it was canceled. Because remember, Todd filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the network. He's since dismissed the lawsuit, and she's since gotten back with him. All right. She says, as a proud Latina, being a part of a platform like RHOM on Bravo has always meant more to me than just reality television. It meant visibility, representation, and having a voice. Hearing that the show is currently on pause is disheartening, and it's hard not to feel the weight of that. Opportunities like this are rare, and they matter. They open doors, challenge perceptions, and allow our stories and our culture to be seen and celebrated on a larger stage. At the same time, I truly believe that a pause can create space for something even greater. I've always felt this show plays an important role in celebrating Latin voices, and that's something I will always carry with me. I'm staying positive, present, and hopeful for what's ahead. Here's the thing with some of these statements. Shout out to our Latino community. I thought it was interesting that these two statements were talking about how this show celebrated Latin voices, but Latin voices weren't the only voices on here. It was the first thing that stood out to me. I was like, yes, I love that, but you weren't the only ones on the show. Hence, some of people's problem with some of the women on this show, especially this last season. Just wanted to say that. So she continues, she says, over 15 years ago, I signed on to something I couldn't have fully understood at the time. What began as a television show became such a meaningful part of my life, one I chose to share openly through every high and every lesson along the way. Miami will always be be the heart of my story, and I'm so grateful to Bravo, NBC, and Pop for allowing our city to shine on a global stage. Most of all, I'm grateful for the connection for everyone who has supported me, followed my journey, and been part of it all. That never goes away. This isn't goodbye. It's simply see you soon. EXO Alexia, the Cuban Barbie.
That's really upsetting to me, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't say that.
Yes, I have Kiki's statement as well. Kiki came out with a statement. Has Gertie released a statement yet? Has Gertie released a statement? Just asking. Hold on. You're right. Kendra says, Kempire, we just tolerated Alexia because of Frankie. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Kiki released her own statement. This is pretty long, Kiki, for a friend of. I'm just... Okay. All right. All right. Moving on. Kiki says, I'm really proud of what we've built with the reboot of The Real Housewives of Miami over the last 4 seasons. Being able to show my Haitian background to the world means so much to me, and I'm proud to be a part of of a cast that brings together so many different perspectives. We have one of the most diverse all-female casts on television, strong women who bring their own energy, culture, and lifestyle to the table. You don't really see this level of diversity and personal storytelling within one cast on TV. For everyone who feels seen because of that representation, that means everything to me. Of course, I'm disappointed. I truly feel like I'm just getting started and the audience hasn't really seen my full story yet. Okay, all right. What we've built in Miami matters, and I know the audience feels that. Thank you to everyone who continues to support us and show up for us. I'm excited for what's ahead. Love, Kiki. Lakia says that Kiki's statement is longer than her time on the show. I'm just saying. Hold on. I do want to Hold on. Where's the comment? There was a comment here that I wanted to. Oh, here you go. SK says Haitian is technically Latino. Well, I'm not even just talking about when I'm talking. Yes, the cast had Haitian on the cast, Cuban, things like that. But when I'm talking about Miami, when you talk about Miami is so diverse. It's not just Latino. Yes, the cast had Haitian, it had Cuban, it had Colombian, it had Brazilian. But I just feel like that's the problem, and that's the issue. A lot of people from Miami will say they feel like I have a ton of family that live down there that are Jamaican. There are other people that could represent. So I was just sort of like, okay, but fine. But do you think that's what? Do you think that's what Alexia was talking about? Just asking if you thought that's what Alexia was referring to. Just saying. Ocean says, did I miss something? Kiki was a friend, right? Mm-hmm. RC says Russian. Yep. All of that's down there in Miami. All right. I will miss Miami. I think Miami was a really great show. It was a great reboot. It's part of what inspired Bravo to take a risk on doing other reboots. So they had a stellar season 4, season 5, season 6, season 7. I think it still was a good season. I didn't love everything. He said that too. Exactly, Sharjah. She says, and Miami has a lot of indigenous blacks as well. All right. Moving on from... Oh, wait, I wasn't done. In regards to Miami, Andy Cohen responded to a fan in regards to Miami. The comment says, Andy still super bummed about RHOM getting paused. They didn't deserve that. Andy says, me too. It will be back, though. Okay, Andy. When? Do you have a date? All right. Exactly. Hold on. SK says, I get what you mean. I love seeing diversity. Chrissy says, Alexia is not including us Haitians when she says Latina. I don't think a lot of people realize that. I literally just saw a video talking about Haitians being Latino and things like that. So recently. So I think a lot of people don't realize that as well. Desiree says, I love Miami. Those girls were consistently a mess and consistently funny. And you also just love the vibe of Miami. What was it a perfect cast? No. It only needed one change. By Julia. It only needed that one change. Some might say Larsa, but what I liked about this crew is that they really were friends. I will say this though, Gertie, I could see them getting rid of Gertie only because it didn't seem like Gertie was really a friend to anyone in the group. Even Adriana. At the reunion, Adriana was trying to help her and she wasn't even listening to Adriana. And I was just like, oh my God. And mind you, at that reunion, that's when we had the Haitian mortician. We had that iconic moment. And really? All right. But anyway. Exactly. And that's true. When you're in Miami, Theo says RHOM is so colorful and cinematic. I love the look of it. It just makes you feel better too. But all right. Mr. Melody says, did our Jamaican queen, Lisa, say anything? For a second, I thought you meant Lisa Milan, but then I caught on. Lisa Hochstein you were talking about. She is our Jamaican queen. She is Jamaican. Y'all don't know that? We do know that. That's why he's saying that. All right? All right. We had the I love my dog. I love my dog. All right. Yes, the Haitian mortician with the coffee maker. Come on. Foxy says Gertie did not listen to the other ladies. A mess. It's all right. It's all right. Will it be back? I'm not saying that it's impossible because people still talk about Miami, but you guys weren't watching. We did. Our community did because we did the recast. But y'all weren't watching Miami. When I would see those live ratings, you know how they love to downplay the live ratings? I saw those live ratings. It was not getting good ratings, unfortunately. And for those that say it should have never moved from Peacock, that wouldn't have changed the ratings, y'all. That means if it was doing well on Peacock, they would keep it. They were like, well, you know what's returning? It'll remain on Peacock. It wasn't delivering on Peacock either. And this is coming from someone that loves Miami, but I'm also real, okay? Real. It's all right, y'all. This is why I always tell you, make sure you have other things going on in your life. Gertie, let's do the Gertify reality show. Just saying. All right. I'm sure Larsa will be fine. She'll continue selling feet pics on OF. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about... What else did I want to talk about this week? We're going to talk about Beverly Hills. We talked about that. There was something else that I wanted to talk about before that, though. Oh, let's talk about Tyler Perry and Marlo Hampton. So you may have seen... I knew this was AI already. I know AI is a little concerning for a lot of you guys, but I already knew the way that Tyler moves, and then the recent Tyler Perry lawsuits. It did cross my mind. I was like, wait, is this Tyler trying to set us up for something? But the picture of Marlo and Tyler kissing, I was like, that's AI. That's definitely AI. Because we never even seen Tyler hemmed up with some woman unless it's on one of his shows. We've never seen him do that. You think he's going to do that with Marlo? But then it did cross my mind. I was like, here go Marlo, securing herself another billionaire. I was like, okay, Marlo. So Marlo was at this Jason Lee event, and so was Tyler Perry, because apparently Tyler Perry and Jason Lee are friends. I will say this. I always go to myself, because Jason Lee and Rihanna are really close too. I'm like, all right. We will revisit in a few years. Okay. Danny says, Tyler and Marlo, so random. They just happened to be at the same place. Shout out to our friend, Lauren LaRosa from The Breakfast Club. And this is what she got the tea on what exactly was going on with Tyler Perry and Marlo Hampton. Are they dating?
Hey, y'all, what's up? It's Lauren LaRosa, and this is the latest with Lauren LaRosa. So listen, there are photos, videos, all of these things circulating right now of Tyler Perry and Marlo Hampton out at brunch last Sunday in Atlanta. Now, let's talk a bit about whether they're dating or not, because no, they're not dating. I'm told he's never even met her before this brunch by Jason Lee. So I want to clarify.
They never met before, but why is Marlo's hand around his arm like that? Wait, look at that. Why is Marlo's hand around that man's arm like that? Why is it? Honestly, look, Boxy said he should date Marlo with everything that's going on. Okay. See, that's what almost convinced me. I was like, wait a minute, are they dating? Why is her arm around his arm like that? But she knows she secures a bag. Can't be mad at that.
So I want to clarify something. First of all, okay, so the brunch that you guys are looking at, this was a brunch for Catherine Bruton, went down in Atlanta. It was a gospel brunch. Kirk Franklin was there. Tyler Perry was in attendance. He was taken to the brunch, invited to the brunch by Jason Lee.
I'm so grateful for Jason, who made a call and got Tyler to come outside. I'm telling you,
Marlo, who is Catherine Bruton's best friend, was also at the brunch, which is how the two ended up in the same place. They met. She's caught in some videos. They're taking some photos together as well, too. But they are not dating. That is not a thing. That is not happening. This was their first meeting from what I'm told. And there are also some photos that are circulating right now. Here are the photos that are circulating, right?
Look at that photo. I knew first of all, from the side, Marlo looks like Portia. Portia wishes it was her. Portia wishes that's the bag that Portia really would like. I could tell from this photo that this was AI. Don't tell me how. I just looked at it, I was like, this is giving AI. Because also, this is just not how Tyler moves. And if it was real, then I'd be like, this is a scheme that Todd set up for Tyler to come to us to ignore the lawsuits that he's facing. This is not real.
Those photos are fake. Those are AI. Now, here are the original photos that were taken. I've spoken to the photographer, Freddie O, who took the original photos. Here are the original photos that were taken.
Marlo looks good, though. Can we just, one time for Marlo? Marlo looks good. I've seen a few pictures of Marlo. She's been looking good. The fashions will always fashion. Look at this outfit that she has on. That's a wonderful brunch outfit. Like, she is evergreen. Okay, Marlo looks good. Do I want to see her full-time on Real Housewives of Atlanta? No. A friend of, maybe. She should have never been a full-time housewife. Because she's not a housewife. Did she sell her home? I know it's on the market. Did she officially sell it? The townhouse. Yeah, she put the townhouse up, y'all. It looks nice. That's fine. All right.
And I want to make it clear, too, I was told by the photographer that Tyler Perry wasn't even, like, trying to do the whole photo thing. He didn't even want this to be about him. He was there to enjoy the brunch with his friend Jason Lee and to support Catherine Bruton. And all of this just, like, took a left turn.
Shout out to Lauren LaRosa. Thank you for that update on, for those that were wondering what's been going on with Tyler and Marlo. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I know. So they are in Italy. The Real Housewives of ladies are in Italy, and they are still obsessed with Amanda. Look, I get why people do not like Amanda. I get it. But the way that they're constantly talking about Amanda, making everything about Amanda, I'm just like, you can't just help but like, okay, guys, but you guys are annoying. It's Amanda. Okay? So Kyle, at the top of this week's episode, we talked about, for those that may have missed it, we did talk about last week's episode during my Saturday afternoon live. So if you missed it, you can go watch it Saturday's live. So they're in Italy, okay? They're being hosted by Bozema St. John. Sutton's luggage still has not arrived, so she borrows a dress from Kyle. Apparently, it's from Zara. But that's what I like about Kyle. I know, you're probably like, you like something about Kyle? No, I like the fact that Kyle can be regular. She doesn't need glam. She does her own glam. She even has a Zara dress with her, okay? Not everything is expensive, and she could afford it, unlike Dorit. Let's just talk about Dorit from top. Dorit was on Watch What Happens Live yesterday, and yes, the questions about her pre-foreclosure came up, but also they talked about why did she bring up the cult of it all. Did you guys see her explanation? I'm not going to even play for you the explanation because it didn't explain anything. She couldn't just say, I brought it up because I thought it'd be a perfect dig. She tried to make excuses associating what Amanda had said before, and I was like, Dorit, you're lame. You are so lame. And then I thought to myself, if I had to choose Dorit over Angel from Real Housewives of Potomac, I choose Angel. You know why? Because at least Angel gave us that terrible trip that she hosted in Colorado. Okay? At least she gave us things to laugh at, like Mercurial. Okay? Dorit, you're lame. You've been lame. The fashions are good, though. I will give her that. The fashions are good. Honestly, I prefer her fashions over Rachel Zoe's. Yeah, I prefer her fashions over Rachel Zoe. Rachel Zoe gives hobo chic. Or not chic, or whatever. So speaking of Rachel says that she's like, I just want to go home. Because remember last week, her son revealed to Rachel that the dad talked about, he has a new girlfriend. And she's very upset about it because she wasn't told that he was going to mention this, and she's worried about her son. And I said to you, like, I feel like her son Caius is so mature. He did sound a little upset, though. I will say this in this week's episode when he spoke to his mom, but I don't think he was that upset. I still don't think that he was that upset. Okay, he might not like the lady, or maybe the way the father told him, but I don't think it was to the point where Rachel has done reality television before, y'all. So Rachel is always producing. So everything I see that Rachel does, sometimes I'm like, all right, Rachel. I think she's a good addition, but at the same time, there's certain things, especially the jumping on the bandwagon when it comes to Amanda. I'm like, okay. Do you guys really believe that Kyle is defending Amanda because she really believes what she's saying, or is she just jumping in to sort of because she doesn't want the audience to see that everyone's piling on Amanda? Do you think that she really believes that, or do you think that she's only doing that because it's going up against Dorit and she can't stand Dorit? I'm just not sure, because I don't believe Kyle is 100% authentic in regards to her defense of Amanda. But okay. Let me say thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Thank you so much, Ilya, for the super chat. Ilya says, we know. Oh, now we know. Mr. Melon Magic, thank you so much for the super chat. Mr. Melon says, Tokyo is in need of help from mental to dental. Alti, thank you so much for the super chat. Alti says, I've mutual friend to Irene Major who married to a billionaire tycoon in the UK. Emma's father is also a billionaire who had Emma from an affair with an aristocrat. I don't want to be messy. I'm just going to say allegedly because I haven't seen that information, but I believe you. What? Emma's father is also a billionaire who had Emma from an affair with an aristocrat. I don't want to be messy. That was messy. That was messy, but I'm here for it. What? See, there's so much tea. They're going to present what they want to present to you there. Exactly. Critical Thinker says that Kyle and her opportunist ways. Yeah. Uh-oh. Miss Lee, I saw this. Miss Lee says, Summer Wish. Kempire. Lover Boy season summer event on a rooftop. Okay. I kind of like that idea. Are you hosting it? Are you hosting it? Alti, thank you so much for another super chat. Emma's hubby's mom was highly rumored to be a lady of the night, allegedly. Wait, Emma's hubby's mom, her husband's mother, was highly rumored to be a lady of the night, allegedly. His youngest son was born via surrogacy. As such, he's not recognized as an heir to the estate. Well, damn. Here's the thing in regards to Emma doing this reality show. I'm actually surprised that she's doing reality television, being a royal. Anyone else a little surprised by that? I'm like Meghan Markle would never. I know she had her own reality show, but it was her own reality show. So when y'all making snide remarks about Meghan Markle, I think it's because you guys are pressed that Meghan has made such a, she's a huge name. I don't think they expected, and they say, how dare she, be black and all, do that. That's why y'all mad. I've talked about this before. Here I go on a Meghan Markle rant. And I don't know Meghan Markle from a can of paint, okay? But some of y'all are mad for a couple of reasons. Some of y'all are mad at Meghan Markle because she took your Harry. Because some of y'all thought you had a chance with Harry. Some of y'all are still crushing on Harry from when you were teenagers. So some of y'all are mad, okay? Some of y'all are mad that Meghan Markle came out here and has all the fanfare. It's almost like the second coming of Princess Diana. I know. But when it comes to the amount of attention around Meghan Markle, it is. It very much is that. Okay. Okay, sorry. I stand corrected. Emma is an aristocrat, not a royal, Kemp. Well, okay. All right. Fine. I stand corrected. Look, I stand correct. But either way, aristocrat or royal, I'm surprised that she would do reality television. You know what I mean? But that's just me. Ooh. Wait, how do you pronounce your name? Ivorian Girly. Thank you so much for being a member. Says Emma follows Meghan Markle hate accounts. See? Savannah, what does that got to do with anything? Harry has a bald spot. Okay, Anne. Look. Okay, Anne. That's true. Carmi says that the newspapers here turned everyone against Meghan Markle. Yeah. We see you, Piers Morgan. Mm-hmm. All right. That's why I don't jump on the bandwagon when it comes to some of the Meghan Markle hate and stuff like that. Because I'm like, you guys still have not shown me anything, because I do feel like it's the media, that including American media. Page 6, I see you. I always see the little random headlines that you write about Meghan Markle. Danny says, I don't get the Meghan hate at all. I understand why she wanted to leave the UK. The racism here can be a lot. Just saying. All right. Moving on, because some of y'all regurgitating some of the stupidity of the tabloids in the chat, and I'm gonna ignore it. I'm gonna ignore it. All right, Beverly Hills. Back to Beverly Hills. So Rachel's distraught. She's like, I wanted to get on a plane and go back home, and I spoke to my son. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Sutton complains about rooming with Amanda because Amanda used her pillow for her laptop. I will say I would be annoyed by that too. Like, don't be putting your dirty laptop that's been on your lap, that's been on tables. Don't be putting that on my pillow. That's gross, Amanda. But Amanda, there's some gross way. Remember we talked about Amanda putting the dirty shoes on her white bed? So, just saying. I'm noticing some nasty things about you, Amanda. I'm still riding with riding with Amanda. Okay. Moving on from that. So Sutton talks about how she wishes that she could talk to Amanda about just like the Chloe line, which is so interesting to me because rewind time. Remember the LA Times article that no one in the group would read? And Sutton was talking about, like, I read the entire article. And she was just basically talking about how this group is, very surface. And it's just like, now all of a sudden you just want to talk about Chloe's spring line. You don't want to have a deeper conversation with Amanda. I don't know if you can have a deep conversation with Amanda. I don't imagine that conversations with Amanda are actually that interesting. I'm not going to even lie to you. No matter how I feel like this is a gang up on Amanda, I think I would like lose my mind talking to Amanda. Maybe, I don't know. But based on what we've seen, I'm like, girl. But you volunteered to be in a room with her. And do I feel like you were really trying to help her? No, Sutton. You did that because you were trying to spin some sort of narrative. But apparently that narrative is spinning another way. And I have to say, this is the one time that I'm going to agree with Dorit. I believe that Dorit is right about Sutton, that she's now aligning herself because at the end of the day, you even gave up your friendship with Garcelle so that you can align yourself with Kyle. You want to be with Kyle and you want to be on her side. So now I'm seeing, because remember that conversation from last week's episode, she had that conversation, Sutton, Kyle, and Amanda. I see Sutton has now changed teams again. So I agree with Dorit in regards to you playing sides and talking about her. And now you're trying to be all innocent about it. No, I do see the shift. I agree with Dorit on this. This is what you're doing. You don't want to, you're now seeing the shift and you're like, I'm going to be on Kyle's side because Kyle is defending Amanda. You are so desperate to be Kyle's sister. I don't get it. Does she not have any sisters? Sutton? Is she an only child? I don't remember now. SW says, I agree. I think they're all on Amanda, but still Amanda is boring. I mean, I can see why they hired Amanda. But at the same time, I'm like, okay. I don't know. Would I want to have a conversation with Amanda? Not really. Not really. All right. Let me play for you because speaking of Dorit, Lord, what's going on with this damn website? I don't know why it's doing this. All right. I want to play this clip because I digressed in regards to the conversation. I want to go back to Watch What Happens Live and what Dorit had to say about her pre-foreclosure because we did do a video on Dorit and her pre-foreclosure. Okay, why does this light keep changing on me? Light. Is it because I'm wearing my hat? Look. Let me just play for you what Dorit had to say in regards to her pre-foreclosure. Hold on, y'all. All right. Where is it? Here it is.
A lot of questions wanting to know about the unpaid mortgage that we read about this year.
Well, that is something that I learned when a few weeks before everyone else learned. as we discussed at the reunion, it's something that, PK was in charge of. I didn't know. It was not being paid.
Who told you who told you that she was going to do this? Act like she didn't know this was something that PK handled. Look, Judy just said you called the Kempire. Girl, this is your second pre-foreclosure in the last 2 years? Remember this before? This was the same excuse that you gave before. After the first pre-foreclosure, wouldn't you, especially because you're going through a divorce now. That was different. Before you weren't going through a divorce. Now you're going through a divorce. Months, the mortgage hadn't been paid since September, and there are multiple loans that you have on this home. This narrative about you not knowing, and you've already been talking about how he's not paying certain things anymore. Why wouldn't you be on the up and up when it comes to your mortgage? I don't understand this. I did not know doesn't work here.
About the unpaid mortgage that we read about this year?
Well, that is something that I learned a few weeks before everyone else learned. As we discussed at the reunion, it's something that, PK was in charge of. I didn't know. It was not being paid. We've since spoken, and he agreed to bring it up to date. And then we're going to put the house on the market, and the kids and I will, find a new home.
All right.
They're going to put the house on the market and find a new home. I mean, honestly, this is where I feel bad for the kids. I mean, I feel like the kids will be fine, but I'm not surprised by her statement that she said. They also talked about her constantly being late. I'm over her in this lateness situation.
2 questions for you.
Yes, please.
Okay. The first one is about your lateness.
Oh, shocking.
And they say you never seem apologetic keeping the women waiting. What is your response to that?
I think it's something that I now will consider and be more.
She will now consider? Like, that's so rude. I hate lateness. What do you mean now you will consider? She's been late because now they're trying to make it seem like it's a new thing, but she's been late for forever.
Aware of, because I really do feel bad. Like, I go through so much anxiety, and then I think if anything, it's more of like, I'm so embarrassed, and I feel like, how many sorries can you say,
Right.
Then it almost feels like it's insincere, so.
Is it something that has happened? I mean, I know, look, we found you in a place in your life where your life was falling apart while we were shooting this season.
Yes.
You were on...
Andy, stop with the nonsense. Andy, during this situation, was making kind of excuses for Dorit and her lateness. You were frustrated with Dorit when she was late for the reunion. This is not something new. This happened a couple of reunions ago. So you, of all people, know her lateness. And now you're making excuses. Well, you came into the season with a lot of things going on. And
there are a lot of stress. So I know that must have contributed to it, but is it something that has been an issue for you for years?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, remember, I'm sorry I was late. I was in glam.
Right.
I mean, that whole thing.
Yes.
I'm not great with time management.
Okay, Dorit. All right, let me get back to this week's episode. I just wanted to play those clips. Honestly, my favorite part of the episode was them shopping because I love to shop too. I love to be abroad. So they end up in this week's episode. They end up going shopping. They separate at one particular point. At one particular point, they go into Dolce and Gabbana. Both Sutton and Jennifer Tilly, but Sutton's the housewife, so they make it seem like Sutton has the friendship. Blah blah blah. Look, Jennifer Tilly did not need Sutton to go to Dolce & Gabbana and shop privately. She didn't need that. We could already tell. But they end up, Bose and Jennifer Tilly end up going into Dolce & Gabbana to go shopping. I was actually surprised at how much they spent was so small. Anyone else? Dorit, poor Dorit. Poor Reed. Spent more. She spent, and this is like you're having money troubles. Jennifer Tilly goes in there and she spent $2,000 for the dress and the sunglasses. I said, that's cheap. Anyone else? Look, I get it. It's not cheap for everyone else. But I was like, I thought they were going to come out of there spending like close to a grand. No, grand. 10 grand. So I was actually surprised. I was like, oh, that's cheap. Not we saving a coin. All right. Just saying. All right. So while they're shopping and doing all their things, people love to see them shopping. This is why it was such a big part of the episode. People love watching the Beverly Hills ladies shop. We see them shop. Kyle, she might not buy all her dresses from Zara, but she does love a good bag. So she went and got a Bottega Veneta bag, which was a cute bag. Would I have bought it? Just saying. Foxy's called a burrito. What burrito? Burrito. Bose, OMG says that Bose and Erica didn't buy anything. Maybe they didn't see anything that they wanted. But my thing is, if someone's inviting you to a store, you would think you would buy something. Especially when they shut the store down. But maybe she didn't see anything that she wanted. I don't think people should just buy something to buy something. But we already know why Erica didn't buy something. Okay. Joyce says, especially if you're shutting down the whole store. I mean, look. All right. Moving on from there. So while they're all hanging out during this day's event, they had those face masks. And who was it? Who was there? There was Natalie. There was Bose. Natalie's the one who says, I know you're probably like, who's Natalie? Last week, y'all were like, who's Natalie? Who's Natalie? She's not even at the reunion. So, which is so interesting that this week she actually has a moment that Kyle helps to give her. Because no matter how you feel about Kyle, and I do think that Kyle was sort of like throwing her under the bus, but I think Kyle was also throwing her a bone. Get involved. I think that's what it was. Get involved. You're not involved in anything. So I'm going to throw you under the bus in this situation. Because Natalie was there when she says, oh, who would be the Pinocchio of the group? And Bose says, Amanda. And Amanda overhears her saying that. Amanda switches up the story when she retells it to Kyle a little bit later on. So that becomes a bone of contention in the car on the way back. Bose finds out. Bose's like, I don't remember saying that, which I do believe. An off the shoulder comment like that, I could see how you might not remember saying that. You know what I mean? Do you believe that Bose didn't remember saying that in regards to the Pinocchio lying comment thing? I mean, only for us to see it on tape. You did say it. But again, that was, for me, that was light shade. But light shade, but we also have to keep in mind, they keep coming for Amanda. It's like one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. So although I do think that was light shade, that was light housewife shade, but it's like, okay, another thing. Okay. Chrissy says that RHOBH needs to be placed on pause. It's not going to, because despite us saying that it's a terrible season, people are still watching it. It's still being streamed a lot on Peacock. The numbers are, yes, down, but in comparison to Miami's numbers, it's like triple Miami's numbers. I know. But I always tell you, the ratings do not necessarily exhibit the quality. Okay? OMG Steph says that Bose's energy towards Amanda just feels weird. She has done nothing. She hasn't done anything. And it gets weirder. It gets weirder towards the end of the episode, because you saw Bose then says, oh, she was in a cult and she's created a cult. So Bose basically says that her business is a cult. That is damaging to someone's reputation and career. But I did see comments from Amanda online in regards to people talking about her business and things like that. And she was like, welcome to my cult. I have to say, the way she's been handling the media and social media of it all, I have to say that's what's making me go like, okay, Amanda, I see you. You're not letting them see you sweat, which becomes a topic later on during the dinner, because Dorit then, because she found out from Rachel that Sutton has been talking about Dorit and talking about, like, she keeps bringing up Amanda's business, and that's not cool. I wouldn't like that, the whole Googling of it all. But I kind of understand where Sutton's coming from, because you brought up the cult to come back at her. You were digging up information to come at Amanda because you bringing it up had nothing to do with the issue at hand, especially because the issue was so minor. The issue that Dorit had with Amanda really should have been her issue with Kyle. It didn't warrant, oh, let's talk about the cult. Huh? And you saw, if you watched Watch What Happens Live last night, her justification for bringing up the cult still didn't make sense. It was a bunch of just word salad. I was like, that didn't make any sense, Dorit. But okay, fine. So they end up having dinner by the pool, and they were talking about some of the things that were being said. Dorit confronts Sutton about it. Sutton is basically a humana. She doesn't really have a clear response to Dorit. But I have to agree with Dorit. I feel like Sutton is just choosing to be on Kyle's side, and you see Kyle at this dinner tries to defend Amanda. Even when Amanda says, I was hurt by something that Bo said, and she was like, well, she's a millennial. That's a millennial statement, blah, 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 blah. Okay? But okay. Then Kyle brings up that Natalie confirmed what was said by Bose in regards to her being Pinocchio. And Natalie's like, well, I said it that I felt like it was a joke. I will have to say this. The way that Natalie said it, she's like, oh yeah, I did hear it, but I took it as like a joke. I didn't take it serious. I didn't feel like it was that deep. And I have to agree with Natalie. I don't feel like Natalie was wrong, but at the same time, Kyle was producing. Kyle was like, girl, no one's talking about you. You're not engulfed in any of the stuff. You're basically going to be edited out. It wouldn't shock me that production was like, get Natalie involved. And they try to get Natalie involved, but I have to say, Natalie wasn't wrong. Natalie's like, I don't remember saying that. But she did confirm, like, yeah, I thought that it was a joke. Kyle tries to say, well, that's not really a joke. Saying something like that, being the punch of someone's joke, is not, that's not nice. That's not. I'm like, huh? I'm like, wait. So Kyle is definitely reaching and producing in this moment. She really is. Sigurd DSC says, Kempire, can you do Sutton's voice? It always makes me laugh. Well, not right now. It has to come naturally, okay? Lakia says, again, we see you, Miss Brown. Sutton Brown. All right. OMG Steph says, when Kyle said, who is this person sitting here? I had the same question for weeks in regards to Natalie. And she was like, these cameras don't lie. She says this because remember, we thought she was talking about Amanda. She was talking about Natalie in that moment. She's like, you know what doesn't lie? These cameras. And you're right. You're going to have egg on your face, Kyle, because the cameras didn't lie. Natalie didn't make it seem like it was a big thing. She downplayed it. She's like, yeah, both said it, but I took it as a joke. And honestly, it was a light joke. But like I said, I feel like it's one thing after the next when it comes to Amanda. So then Amanda and Bose get into it in regards to this issue. And Bose says, she's like, I feel like, what does she say about Amanda? She says that she feels like Amanda isn't clear about her life. She likes to pretend like her life is more perfect than it is. And I was like, Bose, I feel like that's projection. Because I don't necessarily get from Amanda that she pretends like her life is perfect. Right? Because she's talked about the cult. She talked about losing her child. She talked about her relationship with her current fiance and how like she really wasn't looking for that. You have been projecting on Amanda since you met Amanda, down to the stepchildren of it all and her statement about her children. You have been projecting on Amanda for a while. That's how I feel. Because she's like, we want to see all of your warts. We want to see all of these things like that. And I'm like, what part of her life? She literally told you guys about the cult. And you guys are not even happy with what she's told you about the cult. Now they're like, why did she leave the cult? Bubba, why wouldn't you leave a cult? Do you need an explanation to why you left a cult? They're like, well, she never really explained why she left the cult. That's fishy to me. Well, she woke up one day and realized she was in a cult. What part of that wouldn't make you want to leave? I didn't understand that. And then I didn't think that later on in the episode, after they depart, Dorit just gets up and leaves. Like, girl, what is happening here? Gets up and leaves. So they go to the room to commiserate about Amanda. Rachel, Zoe, Dorit, and Bose. And Bose is like, you know what? She was in a cult, and now she has a cult. Talking about her current business. Well, remember, Amanda said that Bose is jealous of her business because Bose has her own workshop. And her workshop, she says that Bose told her the workshop is not selling. She wants to be able to, make it into what Amanda's been able to make it into. I mean, I've told you before when Bose came on this show, I said Bose has worked in marketing. She said, I'm going to do Real Housewives because that's the audience that I believe will buy into my workshops. However, after one season and after going up against Garcelle, fans have turned on Bose. Yes, there are some people that like Bose for whatever reason, and that's fine. However, there are also a lot of people that are like, I just can't connect with Bose. I can't connect with her. And even in her second season, people still feeling like they can't connect with Bose. And if the general audience of the show can't connect with her, they're not going to buy your workshop. And I think she thought, coming after Amanda, because she probably saw her as low on, as low in this group, and she's like, fresh meat, let's come for her. And she didn't realize that people would see through it. And like, first of all, there are a lot of people not watching this season because of what happened last season. And they also don't find Bose likable. But I'm sure Bose will tell you she's a girl's girl. But I tell you every time, if someone refers to themselves as a girl's girl, they usually are not. Singer GST says, but Bose, don't you have the same business too? Yeah, and it's not selling, according to Amanda. According to Amanda, it's not selling, but just saying. Miss Esquire says it's deeper than jealousy. Bose resents that lady, especially when you're saying that she pretends like she has this perfect life. I never got that from Amanda, that she pretends to have a perfect life. But we're watching an edited version of what they're getting to know of Amanda. But she's opened up about a few different things. So I find that to be interesting when she was like, we want to see all of your warts and things like that. And I'm just like, have we seen all of your warts, Bose? I feel like you have shared in regards to some of the things that you've gone through. But then you also have given us this Keely storyline that no one believes either. Daphne says Bose is a disappointment. Yeah. Oh, damn. Some of y'all are, oof, Lord, have mercy in the comment section. All right, guys, we're almost at 600 likes. Keep liking the video if you haven't already. I wasn't going to take any callers, but we'll take a bunch of quick callers just because, this is Friday Live. I haven't really done the whole callers on Friday Live, but we'll take a couple of quick callers, but I got to get off of here by 5 o'clock, the latest. All right, so I'm going to do that now. Keep liking the video. Easy free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. This is our weekly recap of a bunch of different hot topics and reality television. We just talked about Ladies of London. We just talked about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I've only been doing this Friday Live because, not because of Beverly Hills, but because we could talk about other things. We've just included Beverly Hills to be a part of it. So for those of you that have been saying, Kempire, have you not been recapping Beverly Hills? I have. You've just been missing it. Okay? Funky says, who pitched Bose? Was she the only available black girl in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I don't know. I do not know. If you're a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call link for you guys on the post tab. Live chat, I will drop the call link for you guys once we get to, we hit 600 likes. I'll drop the call link for you guys as well. All right, so every man for itself to get into the live chat. Kendra, I don't recap House of Villains. I've been watching House of Villains. I haven't watched this week's episode, but I have been watching it. I don't take House of Villains seriously. I feel like it's reality television where people are just playing up on being campy. It's a cute show. It's like, I'm not watching it to be like really paying attention to who's winning or who's playing the better game. It's not like Traitors for me. It's not like Big Brother to me. It's just sort of there. Okay. It's just sort of there. I mean, I watch it and I like it, but I mean, that's about it. Thank you so much, Lakia. Lakia says, we love any live you do, Kempire. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you guys so much for the super chats, the Venmos, the cash outs. We appreciate that. But like I said before, you can support just by liking today's video. Don't forget, you can also hear us on the Kempire podcast. If you haven't subscribed to the Kempire podcast, you should. And give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And be sure to check out the description in regards to our merch you guys have been asking for. The Are You Okay merch. There's all kinds of merch now available, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and the coffee mugs that you guys have been asking for are now available. So be sure to check that out at houseofkempire.com. All right. Was there anything else that I did not get to today? We talked about Beverly Hills. So that's how they end the episode, with Bo's alluding that she might be leading her own cult. In all fairness, we've talked about this too before. I do believe that some people that end up in a cult do have the potential to lead a cult later on. I'm not saying that's what Amanda's situation is, but I also feel like that's a very serious accusation to make about someone's business, especially coming as someone that comes from the world that Bose comes from. That's a very serious accusation. But I should tell you who she is. I did see that Raquel, that Carlos interviewed Amanda. I'll get the highlights. Okay. Hey, Brycey, long time no see. Brycey says, hey, Kempire, on my late lunch break, I will be on the replay crew to catch up. Thank you. All right. Exactly. RC says, House of Villains is fun, but not serious. However, Tom bossed up on last night's episode. Oh, I haven't watched last night's episode yet. So I don't know. I don't know what he did. Tom is playing his game. Tom Sandoval. He's playing it like it's a serious game, which I can appreciate. And I don't understand why Tiffany Pollard is there for another season. What, the third season she's there? But okay. Miss B. Wood says that they're just mad that Amanda's happy. Yeah. RC says, both started off on the wrong road on Beverly Hills and stayed on the wrong foot. She's no bueno for me. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people feel that way about her. All right. Damn, we had a few people backstage. All right. Kiki's backstage. We're going to bring Kiki up first. What are your... Oh, wait. Kiki, before you say anything, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors, and everything that they say is alleged and of their own opinion. All right, Kiki, what did you want to share?
Yay, I'm first today.
Hey.
Okay. Kempire, you know what? They should just leave Amanda alone. Like, they're really, really trying to make fetch happen with her. It's not happening. Let the girl be. And what do they mean she has to explain why she left the cult? Like, she can decide to wake up and feel like, no, this isn't working for me. I've never been in a cult, but I know that there was a time that I really needed spiritual guidance, and I was going to church and just doing all of these things because I was in a terrible place in my life and I just needed to hold on to something. And what happened was, the more I went and I was paying tithes, like, I started feeling threatened because when I didn't pay money, it felt like, oh, I didn't pay money. I didn't give this gift. And I just woke up one day, I'm like, nope. You know, it almost started feeling like a cult to me. Like, I had to, like, sacrifice my life and everything. And something just felt strange about it. And one day I just blocked them. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm way smarter than this. Like, I know that I'm going through stuff. But you know what? God, if you don't want to fix it, don't fix it. If you want to fix it for me, fix it. But I don't have to give all of my life savings just because I need prayers. So I can see how that can happen because I was somewhere, you know, at some point in need of help and spiritual guidance, and I almost got taken advantage of. It's just that I was smart enough to be like, nope, I'm smarter than this. So, yeah. Secondly, oh, sorry.
Kiki, you've been talking. Thanks, Kiki.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
You too. I mean, I love it. I that was cringy to me, them feeling like, oh, she needs to give them a reason as to why she left the cult. Excuse you? All right, Chrissy's backstage. Chrissy, what did you want to share in regards to any of the hot topics that we talked about today?
Hey, Kemp. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. So I just wanted to add, because I'm messy, so I do watch Mormon Wives. Okay, I binge watched the last season, so I'm up to date.
Oh,
Taylor is out of her mind. Okay. And I do feel like if they really wanted to bring in younger viewers, they could have hired, I don't know if you watch Love. I don't think you watch Love Island. I think you say you don't. But the perfect person would have been Janae Craig, who was on not the last season, but the previous season's Love Island. That you remember? I don't know if you did the story. She had recently broke up with her boyfriend, Kenny, who was, he got exposed for being racist.
Oh, yes.
It was calling her the N-word. Yeah.
Yeah.
She would have been
She's beautiful, too.
Perfect. Such a sweet girl.
But she's black.
Beautiful. Yes, she's black. But no, I didn't mean like that. But come on.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
She can mess with anybody. She's the way she was. Anybody could have been on there.
What's her occupation? What's her occupation?
Like any white, black, Spanish. Perfect. But that's all I had to say.
Thank you so much, Chrissy. That's the thing. That's the thing in regards to if it was a person of color or a black woman, they're going to have a stellar resume. Taylor, just show on up, girl. Taylor, just show on up. All right, let me bring up Miss Esquire. Miss Esquire, what's going on?
Hi, nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's Friday.
Okay. I have a lot of thoughts, so I'm going to have to get through it quick. I'm really happy that the Miami girls are leading with their ethnicity because they need to put their foot on the neck of NBC Universal, and that's the best way to do it. Because what do you mean you are canceling the majority Latino show in this day and time and in these political climates? What does that say about you, NBC Universal? So good for them. Lead with all of y'all ethnicities and stay on their neck. Okay, so I'm going to draw a through line as to what we're seeing with Taylor, Frankie, Paul, and what we're seeing with Amanda and Bose. Walk with me. Your point about Rachel Lindsay is correct, right? She had to be twice as good to even get to be the Bachelor. That is what Bose resents about Amanda. Bose resents that she has all of these degrees, all of this training, all of this business acumen, and she cannot do what Amanda is doing. And I'm not calling Amanda mediocre as a white woman. I'm really not, because I know she has a bachelor's and a master's degree, but she is basically selling vibes and manifestations, and she's able to sell it because she is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, gorgeous white woman. And that is what Bose resents. And I would just love it if Bose would be honest about that, because Bose is like, how do you get to make millions of dollars selling journals and courses, teaching people to be their better selves, when I have actually done that for a living? I have the experience to do that, and people are not buying it from me. Why is that? It must be because it's smoke and mirrors. It must be because you're scamming people. No, baby, it's because she's a millennial. We live in the age of social information and social media and digital information, and she has the look to sell it. It's the same reason why there are beautiful influencers like, Jackie Aina, who aren't doing as well as long as she's been in the industry as some of her counterparts, because she's not white and blonde haired and blue-eyed. And I wish Bose would just be intellectually honest about that, because what you're doing is not intellectually honest. And sitting up there telling that girl, I can have a direct conversation, and then the minute she asks you a direct question about what you said, you get really defensive and you start gaslighting her, and you trying to give us that you mature tease. You are not mature tease, ma'am. You're not. You deflected and popped on a fence. I don't see it for Bose. I've never seen it for Bose, because I feel like Bose feels like she's entitled to something that she's not willing to actually work for. If you wanted to stay where the people, sing your praises, you should have stayed in corporate America, baby. But you over here on these reality TV streets, and it's an equal playing field. And you don't like the fact that someone like Amanda is your peer in this. Not only your peer, but she might be out hustling you.
Well, here's the thing. Is it karma that's happening to Bose for her always uplifting, allegedly, this is what the streets have been saying when she was in corporate America, coming in saying that she was going to bring, diversity and things like that, and help, other people of color, and the people that alleged that she would always heighten the girls that look like Amanda. Listen, karma?
The fact that the one friend that she has brought on this show is a white woman tells me everything I need to know about Bose, okay? The fact that you was in Dolce & Gabbana with their history of racism when you in Italy shopping, but you want to twirl around in black designers every week in front of our eyes tells me everything I need to know. You ain't kinfolk, you just skin folk. And you like being the only one in the room, and we have clocked it since the beginning. But again, don't be mad at this white woman because she playing a game that was set up for her to be successful. You know that you have to be twice as good as her to get where she is. That ain't changed just because you on these reality TV show streets.
Ooh. That part.
So I'm like, listen, Amanda is a lot of things. I hate that she therapizes herself all the time. Like the way she talks, the girl is very emotionally detached. Yes, she is very millennial coded. It is a little irritating, but that girl ain't hurt nobody for you to be sitting up here accusing her of having a cold, accusing her of being a Stepford wife, telling her life ain't pure and it's got warts all over it. Girl, on these Atlanta streets, you would have been cussed out 2 days from Tuesday. But they know who to play with, so just, keep it over to that Beverly Hills zip code, baby, because I'm like, Bose clearly don't play with no black women, because ain't no way you would have said that to anybody else. And they gonna force us into liking this girl, and I don't want to.
Right? Right.
That's it. I'm sorry. I went a little too long.
Thank you, Miss Esquire. Bye.
Okay, bye.
It's true, and I get it. Some people are like, I don't want to like Amanda, but I also, you got to call a thing a thing. They're trying to gang up on Amanda this entire season. It's just like, she hasn't done anything to warrant any of this. It's very giving much Stacey. Okay, all right. Let me bring up. Y'all not gonna get the same amount of time for those that are backstage. Let me bring up Brandy next. Brandy, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
Oh, well, how are you?
Good. I want to tell you that I was at the show and you and Taria was looking real good.
Thank you.
Like real good. So y'all had that on or whatever they be saying. Y'all put that on. Yeah, y'all was looking good.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. As far as Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kathy Hilton is normally quiet or neutral, but she kind of being like a sniper from the side on Amanda a little bit, like being shady, and that's surprising to me. Otherwise, you said exactly what I was thinking as far as why they were saying, why did she leave the cult? It's like, why do it matter? Like, isn't the point is that she left? Like, but I didn't really have much to say. I don't know if I missed it, but did you ever say if you watched the E! Channel Real House? I haven't America's Next Top Model?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my God, you gotta watch that one.
I'm actually surprised no one else is talking about it.
I know. That's why I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I have to. First of all, I have to find it because I know it's on E, so I have to watch the replay of it. But I do want to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, just when you think it can't be no worse for Tyra, like she outdid herself. That show was crazy.
Oh, it's on Hulu. Thank you, Jay Poo. It's on Hulu. So I'm gonna try and watch it because I did see the interviews that they did the day of my show. I saw the Entertainment Tonight interviews that they did, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, this is worse than the Netflix version." But yeah,
yes, more info.
So stay tuned. Maybe this weekend. If not, definitely next week.
Okay.
Thanks, Brandy. All right. Let me bring up Janelle. Janelle, what's going on?
Bonjour, Kempire. How are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
I am good. I just want to let it be known, I know nothing about Beverly Hills. When I said Garcelle left, I was like, I'm not watching anymore, period. So I watch your recaps. That's all I know. Secret Lives and Mormon Wives. Oh, Lord, Taylor, Dakota, please break up and get help. Get help.
I thought they were broken up.
Okay.
She was on the show meeting 22 different men.
Allegedly. She got engaged to a dude, but then returned home and got back together with Dakota. Allegedly.
I'm not surprised by that because they've been on and off again. Look, I don't watch the show religiously, but I know that they've been on and off again for a while.
Right. But what in the caucasity is happening with this toxicity? That's all I want to know. I need everyone to get help. But I really wanted to talk to you about something you said in your Friday live Saturday live, what you did after your show. You were talking about like, oh, I just felt Whitney Houston was on my spirit and like everybody was singing it. Well, I was like, okay, I've been dabbling more into my astrology and so I put in the location of the Green Room 42 and I did a transit chart for Whitney Houston's birth chart. Basically, the majority of the planets, signs, asteroids were transiting her first house of identity, her first house of beginnings. Basically, something was happening in the room where y'all were just like, oh, her spirit was there. And I would encourage you to pull up your own chart, and you can do a comparison chart with her chart and see if like maybe there was something linking up between y'all's charts that night. But basically, like the North Node was transiting her first house. That's that means North Node, your soul's purpose. Her Mars was transiting the first house. That's the planet of ambition. Her Mercury, for all these planets, we're transiting her first house.
Wow.
At the time of your show and at the location.
I know it. That's why I said let me go with the message and the music that I wanted to feature. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. Everything was transiting, and you know what? And also looking at her natal birth chart, I am not surprised that people thought that she was part of the Illuminati. Like that was. I was like, oh, this is people were picking up on something. I'm not saying she was, but I'm saying I see why people were thinking that. But yes, I just wanted to do that because I was like, oh my God, I was going to message it to you, but I was like, nah, let me just say it and you know.
Chrissy said Taylor slept with, allegedly. I'll add allegedly. Taylor slept with Dakota the night before she flew out to tape The Bachelorette.
Oh, that's not alleged. They talked about that in the last episode of the season.
Damn. Okay. Well, damn.
That's not alleged. She said it.
Oh. Okay.
That's why she was late to the airport and missed the women holding up signs, reading her on to find somebody. I'm telling you, it's a mess. I want everyone to get therapy. Therapy is beautiful, and if you can afford therapy, because insurance is because health insurance in this country is something else. BetterHelp always has a promo code. And on that note,
well, look, goodbye, because we can't be promoting. Bye. We can't promote, companies like that without, disclaimers and crap like that. So just saying. All right. Let me bring up Angel next. Angel, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kemp, happy Friday.
Me too.
I just wanted to say RIP to Chuck Norris. I apologize. I did not know he was going or just transitioned to the other side. I thought he'd been gone. That Scorpio mom had Walker Texas Ranger on every week. So I remember Chuck Norris. And then congrats to Lotto. If she's happy, I'm happy for her, but that's a sticky situation with her baby daddy of choice. Brandy's book, I will be reading. I think we should make that one of our book club selections. Ooh. If you ever implement that. And then Alexia, she lost her first love, which is RHOM, but she got her husband back for now. So congrats to her. And then bye. You are like being lightweight a bully because you're jealous of Amanda, but y'all have so many parallels. Y'all have both lost children. Y'all are both trying to sell the same courses. So, man, y'all should just team up together and give the world something different instead of being a hater. So that's it.
Damn. All right. Well, thank you so much, Angel. Take care.
You're welcome, Kim. And when you do a follow-up, I want to tell you more about my follow-up for my tarot reading that you gave me because it's looking really good.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Angel. Bye. All right. Let's bring up Bernice next. Bernice, what did you want to share? Bernice?
Oh, no, I can't hear you. Hold on.
Well, go. Just go. Since you can't hear me.
You can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to say real quickly, anyway, not much, but your show was amazing. I bought the live stream. I didn't go live in person because the next day I went to the Tony Braxton thing they had at Barclays Center. That was really good. And that was really it. I just wanted to say hi, that I'm still around. Hey, Taurus, it's our season coming.
Our season's coming. All right, Bernice. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I don't know what's going on with StreamYard with that, but it's okay. Yes, Brandy has a book coming out at the end of the month, guys. And then April 1st, she's having a live book promo thing at the Paramount, Brooklyn Paramount. So just in case you didn't get tickets, I'll be there. I'll be in the house. All right. Let me see. Thank you so much for the super chat, Lady D. She says, preach. I'm not sure what you were referring to, but I'll take it. Look, I'll take it. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that shared the live, that liked the live. If you're watching the replay of this, be sure to share your thoughts and opinions on any other things that we talked about. I will add the timestamps later on this evening, because now it's not warm outside, but it's warmer than it's been. It's almost 60 degrees here in New York, so I might try and go for a walk I might try and go for a walk. So I will put it in there tonight, okay? At some particular point. If not, replay crew, sorry. Sorry for you. All right. Thank you to our King's Guards. We always appreciate them holding us down in the live chat. Thank you to our channel members. Become a member today at TheKempire.com/join. And thank you to our subscribers. We appreciate you guys. And if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Help us reach our 600,000 subscriber. Okay? And I will see you all in the next one. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great Friday or Friday. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.